looking at some of the best people in their fields, I'm talking the Tom Brady's, the LeBron Jameses, the Kobe Bryant's, the Steve Jobs, the Alex Hormozis, and of the world. What separates them from people like me? A nobody. And you, who's sitting there watching them all the time. You may have pondered on this thought. And I think the real thing is what eludes so many of us in this day. So before this video starts, I want you to ask yourself, what do you want? I think this is very important. What do you want? Because if you don't know what you want, you kind of just run through life frantically. Even just having a general idea is better than having no idea. Like, you don't have to be perfect. Like, if you want just to make more money, if you want to become the best basketball player, like, just be completely honest with yourself. It doesn't have to be specific. Like, oh, I want to have this specific car and the specific model. Oh, I want a Tesla Model 3 and it has to be 2023. Like, you don't need all that. Just have a general idea and go from there. That's the actionable step for this video. Start off with what you want. The thing about these people is that they know what they want, they make a very rough plan, and they learn to iterate. There's this really 3-step method that I've learned from Luke Belmar. 3-step. See if I put up 3. Yes. 3-step method by Luke Belmar. He's a YouTuber, and he like hangs out with like Andrew Tate and all them. Don't look at me funny. But this is going to be interesting for you. Every single thing that any business does or any type of science experiment, even the scientific method has this same form of this: plan, execute, iterate. So when you make the plan, you know what you want, which is the first step of this video. You plan, which is just a rough plan of like, okay, I want to be the best basketball player, so maybe I should just go to the gym. Maybe I should practice twice a day, right? Good. You execute on the plan. Say, I would say that if you're going to do a type of experiment, just do it for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And I'm not even going to say 2 weeks. Do it for 3 weeks. 3 weeks or longer to see really what the results are. Then iterate. Come back at the end of it and review it. Now, within this, what do you notice? Really think. Like, really, what do you notice about this 3-step thing? It's simple. It's not overthought. And it doesn't give you a complex headache like some of these other YouTubers on the internet do. Now, most of the YouTubers I watch, they don't give me this headache. But if you ever watch somebody who's like doing like productivity, you notice that they have like these crazy systems for capturing thinking and all these other things. I'm not going to do that. And you're probably like me. You don't like doing that. If you're trying to get better at something, you just want something to be very plain and simple. And whenever you hear somebody talking about some complex system that works for them, which is perfectly fine. If it works for them, it's good. If it works for you, that's good as well. But for me and you, it probably hasn't worked in the past. So you need something very simple, right? This video is taking pretty much a different turn right now, but sticking on the topic of what the best people do, it is they simply do less but better, and small things over a long period of time. So when you're getting started, right, with your self-improvement, you're trying to improve yourself, or you're trying to get to that end goal, it's always doing those simple things. Tell me, did you make your bed this morning? That's one thing. Oh yeah, you want to read a book. You bought that book that's, sitting around. Did you read even a page? Jordan Peterson has this interesting concept called aiming low, and some people are just like completely against it, and they want to have this massive end goal, which is like, okay, the end goal could be you want to be reading like 50 pages a day, right? How do you expect to read 50 pages a day when you haven't even read a page yet? It doesn't make sense. Even setting a goal like, oh, I want to make $1 million a year. Sure, you can be ambitious like that, but you need to first make $10 first. Doesn't make sense. If you're into the gym, You're not going to go into the gym and put 70 pounds of weight on the bar, or 100, what is it? I'm going to say 70 kg. I'm going to say kgs for this video. You're not going to put 70 kgs on the bar when you just go to the gym. Like, that's just not how it's going to work. You're going to like injure yourself doing that. So the idea here is to aim low, right? Do less of that thing and do it over a long period of time. And in this case, I mean, the long period of time, I mean, you're going to have to iterate a lot. There's no like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life type thing. Like, if it works, it works. If you really need to change it, you can. But literally, have small things. That's one. Aim low, do less, and do it over a long period of time. So the 3 steps here is plan, execute, iterate. And the plan just needs to be as simple as possible. Have a general idea where you want to go and just go in that direction. Don't think too hard about, oh, okay, I got to be perfect or this thing. Even with YouTube right now, you might say, oh yeah, this video isn't really that well made. I understand that. It's not well made at all. I'm going to be frank. It's not. It's kind of been going all over the place. But that means I know I need to work on my scripting ability. You can't expect to be a great YouTuber without having, shitty 50 videos. Sorry for my language, but I'm not sorry for it either. I'm not sorry about it. You can't expect to have good videos and be good at anything if you haven't done it for a long period of time. And if you're not doing anything, you're not taking action, you're just wasting time towards that goal, towards that end goal. So plan, execute, iterate. Very simple framework for, doing things and testing things like a basic scientist, basic company would do. And then aim low in any given time. Just aim low. Do less. And do it over a long period of time with iterations involved. And you can be like the best because this is simply what they do. It's crazy how boring it is because it's not fun. There's no novelty. There's no really anything new in it at all. It's pretty boring. Yet it makes the results of that. And really, once again, go back to the beginning of this video, which is probably this way for YouTube, this way. Really realize what you want because you may not want the life that these people have. Maybe you like to experience things like I do. Maybe you and me maybe have a thing. We like to experience things and we don't like that. But in order to get the success you want to be able to do things like that and experience things, you have to do the boring stuff. And you have to realize that life is not all that Instagram and TikTok and stuff instantly feed you dopamine as it's supposed to be. So to end off this video, just remember this. Plan, execute, iterate. Aim low, do less, iterate, and do it over a long period of time. Do what you want with this information and have a good week.